Something the matter? Are you a young master? The Fujin Commerce Guild's manager? No. We're here to investigate. I am a humble servant. The one beside me is in fact the real... no. Oh my. You aren't the Commerce Guild's young master? My apologies. Considering your only wondrously fashionable attire, your flying companion, your conduct too, so unlike ours, I assumed that you must have be some from Liyue Harbor to discuss matters with us. I am surnamed the village. Call me Grandpa Lou. Sigh. Apologies. I must. Recent years have not been kind. I have yet to tease great true guests. The Adepti will certainly be satisfied with the ceremony this year. Oh, this is Grandpa Lou. Oh, this is part of the world quest that I did earlier. Aren't these those tea leaves? Quality is far too lacking. How could I possibly serve such things to my guests? Speaking honestly, we're waiting for someone from the Fujin Commerce Guild, for we must discuss with them the tea leaf problem. They're our biggest customers, after all. The crux of the matter is that this batch of tea is simply unsatisfactory, whether it be in terms of taste or quantity. It's open secret among the merchants. Old Lou, the village chief, has also decided that no tea may be sold until the quality problem is solved. I've heard tell that the young master of the Commerce Guild is exceptionally smart and skilled. He's caught wind of this year's tea harvest lacking both quality and quantity. I thought he would come in person, or if not, send someone here. So here I wait. Anyway, the problem with these tea leaves, I believe it lies with the soil. Problem with the soil? Indeed. I've lived here my whole life and worked with tea since I was but a wee lad. And I can notice problems that others may miss. As I see it, and may Adeptus Fujin bless us, it must be the imbalance in the soil and water. Adeptus Fujin? Oh, so you've heard of the tale? It's quite rare. Even among locals, few remember. Many years ago, Qiaoying village was not but a barren hill. Terrifying demons were dwelt here, and it was all thanks to Adeptus Fujin that the demons were defeated and the tea trees were planted, allowing our ancestors to come and live here. But if it's really a problem with the water and soil, then I don't know what we can do about it. Actually, that's exactly what we've been asked here to convict. What we were asked to come investigate. What does that mean? You believe me? Yes, I believe you. Is that so? That makes things easy. Come, I'll bring you the tea leaf samples. Let's go have a talk with old Lao. Something wrong, Grandpa Lou? Young master, young lady, if it's too much trouble, could I pretend you are from the Famous Commerce Guild when we're meeting with old Luo? Village Chief Luo is a good person. How to put this? He puts more trust into machines, cultivation techniques, fertilizers, and things like that. I mentioned the imbalance in the soil and water before, and we parted on bad terms, but if it was the young master of the Fujin Commerce Guild, I'm not sure I could play the part. Doesn't seem like a good plan to Paimon. Don't worry, even if he sees through it. It's nobody's idea but mine. None of the blame shall fall on you. Let's go. Chenyu's Blessing of Sunken Jade. Alright. We'll do this until we hit the 2-hour mark. Bam. Where are we going? Other side of town completely. Sadly, I don't think there's a closer warp point. We're just gonna have to walk. So far, so far. Oh my god, this just keeps going. I really like the layout of this town. It's kind of neat. It feels very natural and flowing. It moves with the curvatures of the land. Uncle Lao, this batch still isn't any good. They're not fragrant enough when you dry them. They get so dry and brittle that you can't even put them in the roller. Even the ones that survive the secondary process will come out the other, a complete disaster. Are you sure it isn't a problem with the machine? Are you sure I haven't forgotten how to operate it? What a thing to say. How could we dare be so careless? With you looking over our shoulders. How could you indeed? Yeah, it's Grandpa Lou. Jin, get back to work. And this respectable looking young man is... and one but who comes to the aid of the oppressed in their moment of need, a disciple of the Gunha. The heck? You even proclaim yourself a member of the Gunha clan. This is the young master of the Feiyun Commerce Guild. He really likes reading the Wandering Hero novels for fun, and the landscape of Chenyu Vale is filled with a mysterious mystique. It must have gone to his head. This is my servant. It will suffice to call her Mini Pie. Yes, that is it. Call me Mini Pie. Oh, in that case, welcome, welcome. A guest like you is a rare treat indeed. God, this is going to be so weird when Singshu shows up later. He's probably going to show up later, right? In that case, welcome. A guest like you is a rare treat indeed. We have been quite reliant on the assistance of the Commerce Guild for many a year, but for what has happened this year, I suspect you've already heard about it. What's wrong? You're looking pretty miserable. Did Jin mess up his work again? You old mocking me again? My apologies, dear guest. Normally, I would invite guests from afar with a simple tease, but this year's batch, well, you know. No need to stand in the ceremony, Chief Lu. We're here to help. The young master is very concerned about the tea leaves, and there's no need to be so tied up with formalities. Very well, then. To tell the truth, this batch of tea leaves is no good either. They can't be tried, and I can't tell if they were bad when picked, or if the problem was with the machine in our workshop. How is that different? How is that difficult? Why not just use some older leaves that you have in stock, and see the product you get from drying them is any different? If the product is normal, then you'll know the problem is with the machine. Seriously, I've told you before, forget it. So we have important guest presents, then we'll give you the method a try. Jin, do we have any fresh tea leaves remaining from the older batches? There's some in the warehouse. What's up? What's up? What's up? Oh, good one. We've been talking here for a good long while now, and you weren't listening to a single word, were you? Go fetch some of the older batches and process it along with the newer stuff that Grandpa Lou brought using the machine. Don't you dare skip a single step. I'll be watching you. It's pretty logical. Grandpa Lou is on his shit. Grandpa Lo, on the other hand, seems a little bit of an ass, if I do say so myself. How about this? I see our two guests are quite young. They might prefer snacks to tea tasting. Why not turn these two batches into tea cakes? The quality of each will be evident with a single taste. What do you think, old Lao? Agreed, we'll do just that. Jin, listen up. We'll take these two batches of tea leaves and make them into two different tea cakes. One cake from each batch. Don't you dare even get a single leaf mixed up. Yes, sir, Uncle Lao. You want me to mix them all in one cake? Oh, I can't even. I can't tell if that's sarcasm or not because it wasn't voiced, and I can't deduce the tone of the writing. Sorry for the long wait. Got both tea cakes here. Let's try them one at a time, shall we? Well, how's the taste? The first one tasted a bit strange. The second one was delicious. You seriously gonna let me, the young master, eat? I agree. Knock it off! I, the young master, share Mini Pie's opinion. The tea cakes made from the tea we had in stock taste fine. Alright, you win. So according to you, the tea processing machinery is fine. In other words, the problem is with the tea itself. The new batch of tea is just not as good as before. So the water and soil? But perhaps it is the cauldron that's the problem. It's old and in disrepair, which must have offended the Adeptus, causing the tea to deteriorate. No, it's the soil and water. It's the elements that nourish the soil. Enough. Let's get that technician in charge of the tea cauldron in here first. It's that Fontanian, the one from the Fontaine Research Institute. Hot, what was it again? His name is such a pain to pronounce. Jin, go get her if you would. Jin? And he's gone. Where did that lazy loafer abscond to this time? That brainless nitwit. I was going to have him go to Yilong Morph and search for our technician. Would you specifically need someone from Fontaine to fix it? About Yulong Wharf. I'm an honorary senior researcher from the Fontaine Research. Now let's not blow our cover. Well, whether in Leeway or Fontaine, most things powered by elemental energy work on more or less the same principles, yeah? A Fontainian engineer can fix it, so can our thaumaturges. It just so happens that Miss Ep110 likes to travel around Leeway, passes through here every so often, and loves to offer her services. So as for this round of cauldron maintenance, we'll leave it to her. So you see, honored guests, I'm really sorry, but I need to trouble you to go to Yulong Wharf and find our technician, Miss Ep110. Or more likely than not, she's found herself there and she can't tear her eyes off. How could you possibly dare ask our guest to do such a thing? Hola, you misunderstand me. Our honored guest has already business to attend to at Yulong Wharf. It would just be passing along the message on their way. It's nothing really. Is that so? It would seem to be so. I'm truly sorry. Then if you would, honored guests. Old Lou, I leave it to you to accompany them. Thanks for your hard work. You scared old Lou so much he was jumping at his own shadow. You mentioned earlier that you're here to investigate the water and soil, right? You best head over to Yulong Wharf then. It isn't far from the headwaters, and there are ruins left by the Adepti along the way. So if you're looking for clues, there's your best bet. As for passing the message to Ep110, well, please lend a hand, would you? Give old Lou some peace of mind so he doesn't worry himself to death. Even Mini Pie can handle a thing so trivial. Hey, why are you still acting? The show's over. What's with you calling Paimon Mini Pie anyway? Anyway, let's leave it to us. You can rest easy, Grandpa Lou. Such great kids you are. Really great kids. Alright, I noticed that you two really enjoyed the tea cake. Why don't I teach you the recipe? Next time you come to some quality tea leaves, you'll be able to make some for yourselves. In any case, safe travels. Be careful. Don't slip on mountain paths. Alright, see ya, Grandpa Lou. Looks like the Adeptus Ruins is right outside the village. Huh, a golden carp. Quite similar to the adeptal energy that the Adeptus granted us. Right. Hello, golden carp. Wait, where are you going? Ah. Aha! Scenes flowing lotuses. Use adeptal energy to light the lotus lamps about the rivers. Use the lotus lamps' auspicious light to briefly light nearby lotus lanterns. Adeptal energy can use to pack the lotus. Scenes of flowing lotuses. Alright.
I'll protect us. Yeah. Go, Barbara, go! Huh.
Scatter!
Don't blink.
There we go.
With sword comes shadow.
Alright, so we gotta do these with adeptal energy somehow. A mere rock. That makes sense. Dan Paimon, you two are indeed brilliant. As expected, upon seeing my dissipated adeptal energy, you immediately understood the situation. Of course, we're super duper experienced adventurers, you know. Still, why didn't you say anything sooner? You didn't just forget, did you? About that. Should not the path of the Adepti be full of challenges? 'Tis merely a test of wisdom. It was you who brought us here. Speaking of which, just what's the problem with the soil and water you mentioned before? Grandpa Lu was also sure that this was behind the deteriorating quality of the tea leaves. Yes, you two have seen Qiaoying village. Should the quality and quantity of tea leaves continue to decline, so will the village, until finally, in years to come, it degenerates back into what it was millennia before, a desolate mountain forest. I understand what you mean. That's kind of hard to wrap your brain around. Can bad tea really destroy Qiaoying village? It is true, the Lord of Geo would not stand idly by as disaster befell. Were the sky to collapse, the Conqueror of Demons and the other Adepti would do their utmost to support it. Should the waters under Yilong Wharf breach the dikes and flood, the Yeo Harbor would aid the villagers. But without tea, this stretch of mountains would, or Qiaoying village rather, would lose its very reason to exist in humans' eyes. That makes sense. When you put it like that, Paimon understands. So you two willing to help me correct the imbalance in the water and soil? What do you say, Mini Pie? The heck is Mini Pie? I've never heard that name before. But Paimon wants to help the Adeptus Fujin in Qiaoying village, when she thinks of how much delicious tea cakes are being lost forever. Just because there's no good tea, it would be a big shame, wouldn't it? Yes, that's excellent. For your willingness your willingness is commendable, and one quite grateful to you both. And I'm quite grateful. And one, oh god, they're doing the Adeptus thing where they refer to themselves as one. Now back to business. When it comes to how to resolve the disharmony in the soil and water, one indeed is well aware of what to do. You must go against the currents and seek the jade treasures thrown into the waters. In the end, we must perform an ancient rain jade rite once more, dispelling the miasma that has settled over the mountains and fields and into the rivers, and restoring the water veins and soil. Okay, got it. But how do we do the ritual? Adeptus Fujin, what's wrong? Oh, nothing. As for the ritual, it's still a bit early for that. Well then, I'll see you each other later. And she's gone. According to her, we need to go against the current. That just means upstream, right? Yeah, it's the same direction as Yilong Wharf. Let's go. Uh-oh. That's not good.
You give, you receive.
I'm assuming that's her over there. Though I do not understand it in the least, I think it's amazing. Just watching her stand there singing, or sing while walking around, sing while sitting, and sing while she lifts her hand and slowly lets it fall, all the while ceaselessly singing. I really don't know just what kind of magical powers the old lady has. Babbling, chanting, singing, reciting and crying. I haven't a clue what she's saying, but it's amazing. Little Mao, can you understand? Ah, that's just how the opera singing is. And weren't there fight scenes later? There was that old dude who could do 88 flips and tricks. Riveting stuff. Yeah, it's great. Just a shame that I don't understand a thing. A whole bunch of people fighting and jumping all over the place. All super flashy and such. One-on-one, several all fighting each other, 5 or 6 taking turns. It's just almost addictive. Hello, we're looking for a technician from Fontaine. Chief Lao and Grandpa Lu said, what name did they give us again? Oatmoon Tanyi. Ah! I see. Ah, yep. Sounds like Grandpa Lou sent you all right. Just call me, Hot Montagna. I'm gonna call you Hot Montagna because that's how that looks like it pronounces in my head. I'm a researcher from the Fontaine Research Institute. Hi, I am the young master from the Feiyun Commerce Guild. I am one who comes to the aid of the... I'll have you know that I'm an honorary senior researcher. Seriously? Is this really the moment to be comparing? Anyway, he's Dan, and Paimon's Paimon. It was Grandpa Lou who sent us looking for you. So you're colleagues from the Institute. Excellent. Looks like you guys couldn't stand that hopeless wreck of an organization either. Mr. Dan, Miss Paimon, hello. I'm Little Mao, a friend of mountains. Hot Montagna. That's what my name means. Hot Montagna can be a bit hard to pronounce, so I asked Little Mao just to call me that. Really quite interesting pair. How did you two meet? It was quite fortuitous. Last year I went to the mountains in the south for a spell and got lost in the fog. A huge beast the size of Calaten Louis was glaring at me, and I thought I was done for. But just then, the little kid suddenly shouted at me. I followed the sound through the mist and got out, and was saved. Otherwise I would have been eaten. Just like that, my family and Fontaine wouldn't have even been able to claim compensation on my account. I know more about what goes on in the mountains than the grown-ups. Is that so? You're amazing, Little Mao. Hot Montagna. Grandpa Lou and Chief Lou are looking for you. We're here about the cauldron in Qiaoying village. Alright, got it. I'll be there in a jiffy, sigh. All those shows here are just too good. I ended up watching several one right after the other. Now my legs have fallen asleep, but I can't understand a word what sort of stories they are telling. It's about how back when a huge carp monster and a monster from the mountains fought. A you kill me, I kill you story. In the end, everyone dies. That's a pretty concise summary. But don't talk about killing and dying so much, Little Mao. If you think like that kind of stuff too often, you might become a villain when you grow up. Since those in Qiaoying Village are waiting for me, it's time to go. I'll see you all later. Let's go watch the shows here again when you're about to head back to Fontaine. What an interesting pair. I love it when these world quests give us a nice little interesting cast of characters. Okay, now that we've solved the puzzle, we can get back to business. Little Mao, how about you? What are you two going to do? To be honest, we're not quite sure how to explain it. The water and soil in Chenyu Vale are kind of out of whack, and we need to cure them of everything in Chenyu Vale to get better. I get it. This Paimon is trying to say we need to restore nature? Yeah, that's right. You're really amazing, Little Mao. Got it right away. Restoring nature. Did someone talk to you about that? That's right. A friend who's always taking care of me told me she wants to restore nature too. If we restore nature, everything will get better. So I want to help too. She also told me about you two. Oh, so you've seen her too. You mean my friend? Of course. Silly Miss Paimon. How could we be friends if I'd never seen her? Fair point. That makes things easier. Actually, we want to... Paimon remembers we need to find jade treasures in the water and then do some rain jade right. But even though we've come upstream, we still haven't found any clues. Ah, I know. Come with me. I'll show you where to look. Well, it really was that easy. Yeah, she told me a lot, such as stories from before Qiaoying Village became Qiaoying Village, and how the tea trees came to be. And more, she said the thing will get worse and worse in Chenyu Vale if the natural order isn't restored. Looks like we're on the same page then. Little Mao, you just said you knew where we could find some leads, right? I don't know if it'll help, but when you mentioned jade treasures and rain jade stuff, I just thought of... Come with me. Let's go. And that's Qiaoying of the Sacred Mountain. Floating Jade, Treasure of Chenyu.
We should consider choosing another transportation.
I can't. Here, over here. There's moss on the cliff. It's slippery. You're the one that needs to be careful. Oh! Oh god! They weren't kidding. You can't climb up that. There's a cavern behind the waterfall. Try not to get soaked. You might catch a cold. They made unclimbable mountains. Ah, it's blocked off. But you get that at Deathtal Energy. That's what we call experience. Wow. There we go. There's more water here than before. Maybe we'll have a swim in next time. Oh. Huge claw marks and paw prints. Some huge wild beast left them behind. Yeah, huge, right? This is my secret base. You still camp here? You're incredible. But you really need to stay safe. It's fine, my friend.
That's everything. On to the next.
This is it, the clue I wanted to show you before, right here. What on Teyvat is that? It's so covered in moss that Paimon can't make heads or tails of it. There wasn't any moss last time I came here. No need to worry, little Mao. It's so humid here that it's no wonder there's moss growing everywhere. Must be a way to clear it away. Fine, we'll do it your way. Moss came loose. It's a cool looking mural. It's a scene of ancient people attending a festival and performing a ritual. Pretty different from the festivals we have today, huh? Although the grown-ups in the city and the village say that the Lord of Geo was the first to arrive in Chenyu Vale, I heard the people in the picture actually got here even earlier than he did. People back then used to throw bits of magic jade into the river, and they'd float along until they sank to the bottom. They saw it as a way to guarantee good weather, prevent the river from flooding, and ensure that the soil would be fertile. Based on what we previously discussed, I'm guessing Chenyu Vale will only be fixed after we found some jade that was thrown into the river in ancient times. That makes sense, doesn't it? You're so knowledgeable. Was your friend also the one who told you these stories? You rule, little Mao. That's first-class guide material right there. Huh, little Mao's local, so of course he understands this place better than Paimon. Yep, and everyone will be really blessed and live a happily ever after and all that. But I much prefer hearing stories about ancient wars and battles. She told me that the warriors back then were all giants who were over 10 feet tall. The warriors of Chenyu Vale were covered in tattoos, and they had these massive jade axes that could chop a person in half in the blink of an eye. And the Millelith, led by none other than the Lord of Geo himself, were even tougher. They clad themselves in suits of armor that weighed over 1,000 pounds and fought with 100-pound spears. Apparently everyone was at war back then, so much so that the Bishui River turned crimson red. Later on, the mountains to the south became full of ghosts in that era. Even now, those who wander through the mountains might still be able to catch their singing on the wind. Ugh. Yikes, scary stuff. Cover your ears, Mini Pie. I don't think these stories are meant for kids. Yeah, it sounds terrifying. Hot Montanya's right. You shouldn't dwell on this stuff all the time. There's no way grown-ups would tell us these stories. They always say we're too young to hear them. that they'll turn us rotten and stuff like that. But I'm old enough already. Hearing the story is not going to turn me into a monster. Besides, there aren't many adults still around who know these stories anyway. If my friend hadn't told me, I wouldn't even have known that these stories were about this picture. Okay, fine then. I guess we'll move on. So the grown-ups were right to say that those ancient people threw the jade into the river from somewhere high up. But where exactly? And where did all the jade float off to? Well, it must have sunk to the bottom, right? It's not that simple. If it was thrown somewhere upriver, even if it sank to the bottom, it would still be pushed downriver by the current, let alone after so many years. Besides, I've never heard talk of any ancient ritual jade being found upriver. Chenyu Vale is a small place after all. There had to have been such rumors, everyone would have already known about them. You know so much. You're a future scholar material for sure. But what if I don't want to be a scholar? They don't earn much more, and it sounds like no fun. Then become a traveler, just like us. What could be more fun than adventuring around the world? Seeing as we know the site of the rain jade, right? What should we do next? Why don't we go somewhere high up and take a look? Let's observe how the river flows. If we want to see how the river flows, maybe we could try the tall watchtower along the Yilong Wharf. You're a clever one, Miss Paimon. Of course. Okay, let's head out. Alright, let's go. Oh good, it teleported us here.
Bet you can't keep up with me.
I love it when I don't have to go somewhere. Look, from up here, you can clearly see how the water moves faster through those narrows and slows down again as the river widens out. The jade must have stopped there. We should find what we're looking for there. You're such a real whiz kid. Paimon's been wondering, though. What's that massive thing in the distance? That huge thing is the Jade Mouth, the legendary jade ring that the Adeptus threw into the water. Was everyone just a fucking giant back then? Oh, but the river curves around there, so the current should actually speed up, but the river gradually gets wider there. Yeah, so the rapid flow around the bend might have resulted in things being deposited along the convex bank where it widens, so there's actually a good chance the jade is at the bottom of the river somewhere around the Jade Mouth. Of course, that's assuming the course of the river hasn't been artificially altered. Not to mention that there's a fisherman's legend that goes something like, Jade shall rise from Sunken Mouth, or something like that. Anyway, let's go over and take a look around first. Compared to Little Mal, Paimon feels like she's completely out of her depth. Because my friend is amazing. She knows everything there is to know about the mountains. And she's taught me loads too. That's how I've learned so much. Sorry, Paimon, you just need better friends. You're unfit for duty, Mini Pie. As the young master, I am most disappointed. Don't worry too much about it, Paimon. Yeah, that's right. Paimon has lots of other strengths. Whatever the case, let's go down and get on a bamboo raft. Jade Mouth, here we come. Board the bamboo raft. Oh, it's right there. Almost there. Hey, it's Uncle Bosu. Someone coming aboard? Wait, is that Little Mal? Come on, I'll take you. Alright, boatman, let's take us to the Jade Mouth. Alright, Jade Mouth it is. The other two, you're tourists, huh? Well, if you're here sightseeing, there's not many locals that head that way. You could say that, Mr. Boatman. Any stories about the Jade Mouth that I haven't heard before? Knowing you and how much you love stories, kiddo, I must have heard them all by now. Tell me more, tell me more. Alright then, well, I've heard it mentioned that the Jade Mouth was left behind by Rex Lapis when he marched through here to save the people of Chenyu Vale. Legend has it that to prevent the naval advance from downstream, the local adepti... You're making it up as you go again, Gramps. There's no way Liwei's navy came up this river. I've heard that the Jade Mouth was formed by a piece of jade left behind by a giant carp. In those days, the baddie god tried to redirect the river to drown the Millelith, stationed on both banks of Chenyu Vale. but a giant white snake and a giant carp who were her subordinates. Oh, I couldn't read that. She threw jades that were here, pinned the river down, and ever since, we've had no more floods. Everyone can live peaceful on both sides of the river. You might understand a lot, kiddo, but you haven't seen much. Take a closer look. There aren't any crops by this river. See, after it was pinned down by the jades, it's true the river hasn't flooded, but that also meant that it has been able to provide irrigation for crops. So what was once a wide, gently flowing river today is a narrow, rapid-flowing river. Such a river leaves no sustenance for the earth or its banks. Of course, that also means the people living peaceful lives on both sides. How gets it now? But did you say that the Adepti are resisting the Lord of Geo a little, Mal? That's how it was a long time ago. Some people believe that the first Lord of all of Liyue was Rax Lapis, but in Chenyu we believe that before he came, there were other gods and Adepti who protected our ancestors. I've heard Grandpa Lou say that the tea ceremony is actually for the Carp Adeptus, who planted the first tea tree. Oh, but aren't these Adepti meant to be the baddies? They were serving under a baddie god, after all. In some stories, they're the baddies, while in others, they're the goodies. But it was all such a long time ago, even grown-ups don't remember much. So they always try to bluff me. Talking about that friend of yours again. Sigh, how can such supernatural beings be held to our simple codes of right and wrong? As far as we're concerned, all the forces that have ever blessed us to protect the land deserve our offerings. Haha, there you go again. Alright then, time to get off. We're here. Thanks again, Gramps. This is Jade Mouth. It's a huge chunk of jade. Other pieces are massive. Whoever it was that threw it down, the Adeptus or not, must have been absolutely... Adepti came in all shapes and sizes. They could be as tall as the clouds, as small as the pool. Man, the Adepti rule. Go to the Jade Mouth. So we gotta get up to the top, I guess. Well, here's the Jade Mouth, but how are we gonna find all that jade underwater? So that's how it is. The spring cries, the ripple through the waves, the shrines depart from the northeast shores. The heights and the swallows in the southwest hide, the sun and earth from the other side divide. The eternal whirlpool that never churns, the beautiful jade concealed within. That's what Little Mouth's singing about. It sounds pretty complicated. It's one of our local folk songs. I heard old Granny singing it when she was gathering herbs. It means you look out from the center of the river and the banks, on either side you'll see 2 stone shrines hidden in the northeast and southwest. These shrines keep the mighty whirlpool in the center suppressed. I've understood the last bit. So the jade is hidden beneath the whirlpool? Sounds like we're going to need to go treasure hunting. Hooray. But the area between the northeast and southwest is so huge, after all, the broad sense. The northwest and southwest, the Jade Mouth can include pretty much the whole world. You're always thinking outside the box, Miss Paimon. There's no need to worry. I have already come up with an idea where the shrines will be because, well, my friend told me. Come on, let's roll. Does anyone think the giant maelstrom suddenly appearing here might not be too great? Oh yeah, won't that mean boats will no longer be able to sail in and out of Yilong Wharf? Ah, don't worry about that. My friend told me that once we've done what we need to, beneath the whirlpool will disappear completely. Otherwise, how will the old boatman carry along make a living? Ah, so it's not just a smart whirlpool, but a considerate one to boot. Let's get going then. Oh, well, this makes much more sense.
Let it rain. Incoming. Let me go.
Off with you!
Bet you no escape. Nowhere to hide.
All right.
Speed of light. Hey.
More reinforcements.
Speed of light. Hey!
Germinate!
Ouchie! Ow. With sword comes shadow.
So many guys.
Don't blink.
Scatter!
No one escapes my sight. Incoming.
The hunter
Ha.
becomes
Oh. Restores the tranquility of this place. Turn over all your possessions, quench their fury. Aren't you treasure hoarders? Where'd all the Adepti fearing folk come from?
have a little taste.
Speed of light.
Propagate!
Let it rain.
That tingle?
Oh, no.
Try.
Cut to the chase.
I didn't expect a boss fight of treasure hoarders. No one expects a boss fight of treasure hoarders.
We'll talk! Cross!
Hi. No one escapes my sight.
Made these monks ready. They're packing Brunos. Dust out and make a clean sneak. What?
Bet you can't keep up with me.
Spring cries ripple through the volumes. Shrines depart from northeast shores. The heights of the shallows to the southwest hide. Sun and earth separately divide the eternal whirlpool that never churns. We have found the two shrines the legend speaks of. It seems like they are related to our ancestors in the mountains, but meaning of the folk songs mentioned before remain unclear. We don't have a clue what to do here. We're just running around like headless chickens. Everyone got really worked up when they heard our comrades excavating slipping antiques already made Big Mora. Who knows? We'll be much longer before we stick around here. Interesting. She's really right about you.
Another target tracked down by Outrider Amber.
Alright, now we just gotta figure out how to work the other one.
I won't let you down.
Something's where?
Get him.
So we light the pots with that. And then that does nothing. Oh, I see. We use adeptal energy. Gotta light all 4 pots. That makes much more sense. Guess that settles it.
Opening a chest is
Even
like
my friend
unwrapping
couldn't
a
learn
gift.
anything about the shrines. Got that right. Alright, back to the Jade Whirlpool. We haven't seen a whirlpool from the song yet. What should we do next? How about giving that adeptal energy of yours a try? Use your adeptal energy. Cool, but how? Oh, we just walk up and press the button. Okay. Oh, that makes sense. That works. It's kind of pretty, actually. Alright, now it's time to go to Enkonomiya. Just like the legend says, it's a golden cart. Oh, it's you again, Miss Fujin. Fujin.
Opening a chest is like unwrapping a gift.
Oh, this is where we were first time, actually.
Bet you can't keep up with me.
Oh, probably want to get this waypoint here. Aha. And Paimon, we meet again, and who might this be? You haven't met before? This is little Mao. He's helped us so much along the way. No, we haven't met before. You must be a good child, little Mao. Hello, and yes, that's me. Miss, are you an Adeptus? You are, aren't you? This is Adeptus Fujin. Thanks for all your help you've given Dan and Paimon, little Mao. It's really the legendary Fujin in the flesh? I can't believe this! I've heard so many stories about you. And now I know that you're not some kind of big slippery carp, but a lady instead of like a big sister. Big carp? Honestly, what kind of stories have you been listening to, little Mao? One is indeed an Adeptus, and as such can take the form as one pleases. This particular form seemed the most approachable one for conversing with humans. From what you said, you have a very unique scent, little Mao. Have you met someone in the mountains before? Someone with red eyes and a fair complexion, perhaps? Not exactly, Big Sis Fujin. You're not talking about the one of your other friends, are you? My friend from the mountains doesn't sparkle like you do, but she's also really cool. She's helped me tons of times, and so it was her after all. Your friend wasn't Adeptus Fujin after all, huh? But Big Sis Fujin's my friend now too, isn't she? Of course, little Mao. I'm delighted to have made friends with you. Way to go, little Mao. You've now met two Adepti. As for whether little Mao's friend counts as an Adeptus or not, I'm not quite sure myself. After all, Adeptus is merely a title, and it's hard to say whether Adepti are even people. The word Adeptus, just like any other word such as hero, villain, or idiot, no one is born an Adeptus, no one shall remain an Adeptus forever. That's true, so you've met that friend of little Mao's that we're talking about, right? Indeed, but it's a long, long time since I ever saw her. So now I suspect that I don't know her half as well as little Mao does. I'm not even sure if I still count as her friend, according to what little Mao said. His friend wants to restore nature. I would imagine so. Anyway, I must thank you all. Please take this piece of votive rain jade. I had originally hoped it might remain here, the same as it ever was. But I never expected it to grow quite so large. I used to love it so. This rain jade that you mentioned, did it rain down or make it rain or something? Of course not. After great changes in our geology, our ancestors of the people of Chenyu Vale lost their ability to communicate with the heavens, and lost the guidance of the emissaries whose beauty was pure as moonlight. Henceforth they began to take jade, which glowed gently as the light moon, and cast it into the river. As they did this, they would pray for good omens, for fertile land, and for clement weather, and for the riverbanks to hold strong. Over time, these rituals grew in power until one day, see what happened next. One day, the Long Lord to become the gods who would reign over this world began. Afterward, this tradition lost all meaning. But it was forgotten. Its name is still passed down over the generations. Cut a long story short, this piece of votive rain jade before us was the very last one to ever be thrown. Just as the part above the surface, when we commanded the adeptal art, can be made large enough to stop a flood. Its core, too, has been swollen up by uncontrollable adeptal energy. Much of its power has dissipated into the surrounding area throughout the spirit veins. Scam phone call. Adeptal energy, much of the power is dissipated into the surrounding area through the spirit veins. Okay. This power may also have affected nearby flora and fauna, attracting and even aberrations of them. You must be careful. Great. Whopper flowers. As far as I can tell, the adeptal energy that is dissipated nearby should be sufficient to reawaken the hibernating voted rain jade. If this is the case, we're one step closer to achieving our goal of nursing the water and the soil back into health. How should I say this, Dan and Paimon? Thank you both. You're doing an amazing thing by choosing to help me, you know? And little Mal, will you help me too? With your help, will you help out your big sis? Of course, I want to restore nature too. Is that so? Well, that's good. You're very smart, little Mal. You'll understand everything later. Alright then, let's go our separate ways for now. Once you've retrieved adeptal energy-filled votive rain jade, we'll meet again by the deep pools shrouded in cloud and mist to the south. South, got it. She's gone and disappeared again. Well, let's do what Big Sis Fujin said and restore this voting rain jade's power. Speaking of which, what's it got to do with voting? See, you're not that much brighter than Paimon. It's votive. Oh, right. So it's complicated. So since you mentioned it, what does votive even mean? Why is it called rain jade again? Exactly. What does it mean? Let's follow the instructions.
Hey, go Baron Bunny!
Collect the scattered adeptal energy. Alright. Oh, that's not...
Told you I'd win.
The strange phenomena.
Let it rain. With sword comes shadow.
Okay, now what? That's one adeptal energy. Hilichurls are here too, huh? Oh, there's Seelies here too.
I'll protect us.
Iframes!
Nowhere to hide. No one escapes my sight. Incoming. Hey! No escape. With sword comes shadow. Don't blink. Let the show begin. Incoming.
Spring forth!
Speed of light. Cut to the chase. Don't blink.
Yeah. When in doubt, free the Sealy. That always works out. Oh, there's another one. There's 3 of them. Huh.
Yeah.
Do you guys often play with Sealies? Play together, yeah. Thanks, guys. Looks like the Sealies really like you guys. Sure, yeah, that's it.
You give, you receive.
Huh. Well, that was weird. Oh, looks like we have a Amber. Well, that's finally over. Okay. Well, that was one more piece of Adeptal energy. Now we still have to find more. Thanks for the follow. Okay, so that way led to that. Oh. That one's totally drenched. Oh, this one, that's a boar. Oh, God.
Good.
Propagate!
Incoming. Ah. Ready, steady, go.
That was terrifying. Oh. Oh, we're going on an adventure. Okay, now it wants us to go through this area that we went to earlier.
Speed of light. Hit.
Scatter!
No one escapes my sight. Ugh. Nowhere to hide.
There's some aggressive squirrels.
Huh?
Yeah.
Where'd the boar go? Ah, it's up here. Beast Lord of Fuyu, a boar created by Adeptal power.
Incoming. Hey.
Yeah.
Speed of light. Good. Ha.
This thing has so much health.
Let it rain. Don't blink. Ah.
Propagate!
With sword comes shadow.
Oh, that killed me. Ah, right. Immune.
Speed of light. Yeah. Hey, get him.
Woo! Never heard of adeptal energy trying to
keep
heat up a
this
forest
close.
for. Perhaps that's what the big sis meant by aberrations. Wonder if this is an adeptal energy. Let's go back. Where did she say we were going to meet up with her again anyway? Seems like the Jade is starting to move. Right, but according to the story, the riverbed should have lots of other votive rain Jades. So why does specific Fujin only want this one? Look, it's shining almost as if it's resonating with the adeptal energy. Why don't we try using the power? That's really cool looking, I have to admit. Oh, it's tiny now. Huh, it became small. Paimon didn't think it just changed size like that. Guess that's a millennia-old treasure for you. And just like you said, little Mal, they could be as tall as the clouds or even small enough to hide amidst the pool of leaf. Yeah, looks like the vote of rain Jade's in our hands now. You're so reliable. Paimon worked hard too. Paimon's amazing. So you're going to take us to that deep pool shrouded in the cloud of mist at the south now, right? Clouds and mist. I think Chenyu Vale really does have places like that. But where? Tell us, little guide, and Paimon will take you there. Do you remember the place Mountain mentioned? The spot... Oh, you mean Hot Montana. The spot where we met? That's the place super foggy. I know it's a secret cavern that leads there. Even the other locals don't know about it. It was my friend who showed me the way, and since you're my friend too, Paimon, I'll tell you all about it. You're an amazing friend, little Mao. Of course. Well, both pretty impressive too. Well, any friend of yours is a friend of ours too. Paimon hopes we'll meet her on the way. Shall we go? Paimon's going to take you all the places you mentioned, little Mao. Take us away, Miss Paimon. Alrighty, then let's go. Man, we're just collecting achievements today, aren't we? Alright. Which means we're on the last branch of this quest, I think. Why did Mao disappear? While we were looking. And Paimon. Mao, look out behind you. Whoa, that's a huge monster. Your friend, you say? Tried to told you before, I had lots of friends, didn't I? Well, I just happened to meet her, so I'm glad. So I got a hold of her to introduce you. Hello. I am Dan, and this is Paimon. I am Dan, and this is Mini Pie. Friends of Little Mouse. He's Dan, and Paimon's Paimon. She's afraid of strangers. I usually call her Bluey, because I don't really know her name. Oh, and don't you worry about that. Dan and Paimon are great people. They've been accompanying me on my adventures, and they're real experts in the mountains and forests, too. Bluey. I know, I've seen... Answer me one thing. Where did you gain the power to suppress nature? Suppress nature? What do you mean? Plants pursue sunlight and fertile soil, creating fruit fit for birds and beasts to consume. The digested seeds are scattered, and those which consume seed and fruit become bait for predators. Thus one does everything in return to the land. The snake hidden in the branches, the fish in the mountains, the beast in the forest, traveling the realm. Nature is wonderful. Why have you come? Come on, Bluey, you don't have to be so fierce. You raised 2 questions. My adeptal energy comes from Adeptus Fujin. Our goal is to nurse the soil and water in Chenyu Vale. And the adeptal energy we use comes from Adeptus Fujin. Exactly, something's off about Chenyu Vale's natural conditions, so Adeptus Fujin's enlisted our help. If we don't, well, the tea leaves of Qiaoying village are going to turn out worse and worse, and the village itself might decline. That's why she wanted us to perform the Rain Jade rite, which will restore the area. The range ain't right. I see. You have answered two of my questions. You may ask two also. Why do we need to do that? Give and take is only natural. You have one more question. God damn it, Paimon. Wait, that one counted? Ugh, whatever. You asked, Dan. Little Mao said that you wish to restore nature as well. Do you know Adeptus Fujin? Yes, I do know Fujin. Basically, Adeptus Fujin asked us to help nurse the soil and the water in Chenyu Vale, so that the tea leaves of Qiaoying Village will recover to their original flavor. The new tea leaves taste better, more like before. More like whoa. And just like that, she's gone. Don't worry about it, Paimon, she's like that. Sometimes when I'm not looking, she'll just vanish into the shadow of the trees. Then at others, the sun might dazzle me, or the birds might call overhead, and there she is. In any case, guess we're all friends now. Let's hope so. Just don't worry about it. Bluey's not big on politeness, but she's always been like that. Your friend's pretty strange, little Mao. Is she? Well, for all you know, you're the ones that might seem strange to others. That's a fair point. I mean, not only can you use adeptal energy to make the moss disappear, but you can make the golden stone things appear and vanish. And even then, turn into a carp and fly around like in the stories. I'm none other than the young master of the Feiyun Commerce Guild. Got a point. That said, Paimon couldn't have imagined that the friend you spoke of was, well, a monster. Just seems a bit rude of a thing. It might be pretty offensive, that's right. Say illuminated beast, Paimon. That's probably what they are. Friend's so blue, no wonder you call her Bluey. That's what I've never told anyone. The adults knew that we were friends. They might lock me up. Wait, really? You'd go to actual prison? No, not like that. They just wouldn't let me go out. Made me wash my face, forced me to read my books. I wouldn't get to play in the mountains anymore. That's why I never told anyone. But you're my friend, so it's fine. Anyway, come with me. There's an awesome place I'd love to show you. Did he run up ahead of us? Lots of monsters around here. Y'all can stay, I ain't gonna bug ya. Ooh, it's getting kind of laggy over here. Miasma. Since antiquity, the anomaly known as miasma is endemic to the mountains of the river Chenyu Vale. If an ordinary person inherently fails its cast, they will often suffer from headaches, chest pain for days. Try defeating the leader of monsters. Oh, this is just like the Withering. This is just Withering. Chenyu Vale edition.
Propagate!
Incoming. Good.
Here!
No escape.
Oh my god, that lag. Holy shit.
Don't blink. Hey. Go, go, Baron Bunny.
Ow.
No one escapes my son. With sword comes shadow. Speed of light. Let the show begin.
Scatter!
Incoming. Hey!
Propagate! So!
Oh, huh. Yeah. Ouchie. Huh. Speed of light. Hit. Let it rain. Don't blink.
Man, they just keep spawning.
Incoming.
Are they ever gonna stop spawning? god, they just keep going.
I'll be fine.
Ah, I see now.
Come on, we can do it. No one escapes my sights. Speed of light. Hey!
Okay, we kill monsters until the miasma goes in the tree. That means Hydra Samatro, miasma infested monster.
Nowhere to hide. No escape.
There we go.
Opening a chest is like unwrapping a gift.
This is what I wanted to show you along the way. Didn't think there'd be one here. Gross moss all over the place too. Awesome, Dan. You pushed the moss back just like that. You didn't, and you did it with that smoky cloud. Like you did, okay, like you did with the smoky cloud. Still, it wasn't there yesterday. Is this what they call nature? Don't worry about it. Moss or hill trails, just leave them all to Dan. Lamau, what is your picture about? Originally, I didn't know either, but I figured that it out today after hearing Big Sis's Fujin story. This must be the stuff that happened before the mural on Mount Lingmeng. See, this long ago, the people were able to talk to gods and adepti in the skies by talking to that big piece of jade in the middle. The emissary of the gods would lead them and protect them. See, that's got to be the shiny gold person standing in the middle. I bet that was a super amazing person. But later, just like Big Sis Fujin said, something changed and the people of Chenyu Vale lost their guiding emissary. And they couldn't talk to the heavens any longer. That's how the Rain Jade Rite came about. Your story does make sense. What do you think? Pretty You're a pretty bright smart, little Mao. Come to think of it, our ancestors were pretty amazing themselves, huh? The jades they left for us still powered the restored nature. For something this old to still be strong, and the past must have been weller time than the present, huh? It's not true. The world marches onward. The world is constantly in decline. But even so, shouldn't give up on the future. It's a really cool thought. Never thought about it that way. Paimon thinks that you're amazing, little Mao. We've seen lots of ancient objects and pulses of mysterious powers, and monsters in our time. But Paimon's never considered this stuff before. And you know what? Not thinking about this stuff is all pretty awesome too. I really bet like my big sister when you grow up. Having fun adventuring everywhere. Oh, you have a big sister then? Well, we're not blood related, but she worked here in Chenyu Vale for a while. She'd go up the mountains and run around the rivers, and I'd follow her. We discovered this little cave together. She said that the cave is my Rubicon. Not that I know what that means. However, she hasn't written to me in a long time. If I were to guess, she's off adventuring in some faraway place. Maybe the ancient city of Wise, or something like that. Sounds about right. Oh god, it's Lumine, isn't it? This big sissy here sure seems like an interesting person. I know, right? Still, Big Sis needs our help, so let's continue on. Oh. There you all were. I was so worried. Wow, golden cart. One was quite concerned that the swirling miasmas and fierce beasts that roam might have caused you ill, but one sees that is not so. And that is good. Thanks to the adeptal energy you possess, Dan has been connected to the golden cart here, thus gaining the means to speak with you directly. Dan, Paimon, little Mao, please come with me. Alright, follow the fish. Follow the fish has been the modus operandi of this entire quest. Follow the fish.
I'll protect us.
Interesting. This reminds me of the R&R quest line, or like the tail end of it, for those who've actually done it.
Stronger than I thought. Let's dance. Ink! Ready, steady, go! Incoming. Yeah!
Okay, that's kind of annoying if the enemies are going to spawn outside of the field of play. It's just up ahead. Ah, look, another teleport waypoint. Much time has passed since I last emerged here. This was once a lively place filled with the aroma of incense. Then the three of us could travel freely across the mountains and rivers. Yes, those days were like flowing water neath the moon, dark yet sparkling, oh so brightly. But enough reminiscing. Thanks to you all, I am now able to return here and host the Rain Jade rite. So, you're that person in the mural? I get it now. That person standing on the mountain hugging the egg. That was you. An egg? Come now, little Mao. That was precious Jade. Casting Rain Jade is a ritual of great power. The votive Rain Jade calms the rivers, improves the weather, but it can also be a thing of death and slaughter. Only the thinnest line separates the curses of the adeptal energies that have aided you up till now. That is why I must make sure the rite does not fall into the hands of those who would do ill. That's why, yes, that is correct, the one indeed figure who hugged that egg in the mural. Big Sis Fujin, doesn't this make you pretty, ancient? Yes, it does. Still, I do like the name Big Sis. It does quite make me feel young. So she's even older than Zhongli. Yikes. Well, being called Adeptus is pretty alright, too. This is the same. Well, certainly. Though even if others title me as such, I'm aware that I am hardly the equal of a true Adepti like Mountain Shaper and the rest. I am in truth the weakest of my band of friends. I cannot make medicines or save others, nor can I bound across the mountains and plains. Even so, I could not simply lay the title down. It would have done the people of Chenyu Vale a disservice, I fear. Still, you may call me whatever you wish. After all, we have become friends, or so I would say. In any case, my days of being called an Adeptus are now consigned to history, just like this place has been. Once the Rain Jade Rite was a day of great celebration, where we would commemorate the year of abundance using laughter, firecracker battles, and beast dances to frighten the ill omens away. This must appear like naught but a forgotten ruins of a modern mind. Well, not completely forgotten. That's right, people in Qiaoying village told us that the mighty Adeptus Fujin, who defeated the demons and planted the first tea tree back on the bamboo raft. Grandpa Lu also mentioned that the offerings of the tea were to certain carp Adeptus. And wasn't there the opera sung at the Yilong Wharf about the carp going around killing stuff? You were so awesome in those stories, Big Sis Fujin. Also, people still do the Wushu dance, you know. You said it yourself, the definition of an Adeptus is... Also, putting the definition aside. You're our friend, Fujin. You shouldn't constantly be fretting about the right and stuff. You should live happily. Like we're companions on an adventure. That's right, we're on an adventure together. You're right. Thank you is what I said. Indeed, I was the one who asked you all for help. I wouldn't do it all if it contained the wallowing in the past now, would it? In any case, I need your help to prepare the rite itself. Have you encountered any sacred simulacra in your adventures? Those were ritual spirits often used by people in ancient times to protect their homes. There should be some nearby. Oh, that's what those things are. And Paimon and Little Mal, you must help the simulacra to their proper places. That way we can restore the spirit veins using the rain jade right. Leave it to us, and we'll have faith in you. During the earliest festivals, people didn't know how they should carve the statues, and the products turned out to be a real mess. Even a friend of mine couldn't help but burst into laughter upon seeing it. Sorry about that, Dan. I got lost in the past again. We can walk on water.
Speed of light.
Oh. We need this Sealy. It's practically invisible. I feel like they could have made these Sealies a different color.
Incoming.
Oh no, not the crabs.
Terminate!
Let the show begin. Hi. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's annoying. Jade Hall Guide. There we go. Let's see. The jade may then be offered. Long as the summer to think the water and soil will undergo drastic changes. Interesting. What changes have been wrought in these waters and soil of this land? Okay. I gotta go back up here. Oh no, over to this island.
Let's dance.
How do I get one up here? Do I have to just like carry them everywhere?
Speed of light. Huh?
Three sides grant order. Aha. Was that there before? Did I miss that? Oh. Spooky. Huh. That's it. The sacred ceremony is secured. The trade may be offered. Alright. Let's head back to report to Fujin. This place is really creepy with all the mist and fog. Sacred simulacra are all ready. Thank you both. The votive rain jade has been returned to its priests, and the statues have come back to their rightful places. The rain jade rite is now ready to be performed. Will Chenyu Vale really recover once you cast the rain jade in? That's right, things will get better for us, little Mao. Nature, jade, humans, all is divinely dictated. The changes in the land and water of Chenyu Vale, the malicious fog in the spirit veins, they are all essentially a sign of the earth moving against the flow of time. So that miasma thing is like a manifestation of an environmental disorder? That's right, you can think of it as Chenyu Vale's attempt to, how do you put it, return to nature. And what we intend to do here is treat the land and soil, and rid of its sickness, return to nature. After all, before humans left their caves and mountains to dominate the world and regulate nature, before Chenyu Vale or Bishi River got those names, the land and mountains were a river by their own order. Even I sometimes miss the cool mountain streams and great rivers that would ebb and flow with the seasons. I mean, I was once a mere fish that swam. But if we let nature seize control of its order once more, the people of Chenyu Vale will suffer languish hope. I hope you understand. Yeah. In that case, she really has those dead fish eyes, doesn't she? Alright, here we go. Something happened. Phone going off. Oh, was the fog clearing? Did it work? That thing in the fog just now. Seems I am too feeble in my current state. We got the votive rain jade that was placed in the simulacra, but it wasn't enough. I'm very sorry. It's not your fault. I need more power to overcome this trial. Just as the adeptal energy in the votive rain jade that is dissipated into the spirit veins, so has my power also left me across the long years. Will you grow really big, just like the jade? Probably not. Just think about it, though. Super Adeptus Fujin, now 3 times the size. Well, is there any way that you can restore your power? The golden carp? And you're wise indeed, but before you found a few golden carp, I could not even muster the strength to appear. Initially, I thought that we just needed to gather all the ritual implements, and that would make up for the deficiency in my power. I was not entirely open with you before, but neither the present nor past me was anywhere near a match for the Adepti of the South. I fear you would consider me weak and unworthy of your help. Gee, is that it? Paimon thought you were something more important to say. Eh? There's no way we'd abandon or not make friends with you just because of that. Oh my god, we're still pretending to be the fucking young master. That you are my friend has nothing to do with your status as an Adeptus. My friend told me lots of stories about you. In my mind, even though we just met, we're already friends. I already want you to be happy, Big Sis. Alright. Thank you, all of you. Well, that's more like it. Or should we start looking for these golden carp? I believe that you will have to go to Yaodi Valley. There will be a cavern there with a golden carp hidden within. Great, another fetch quest. All the way over here. I think that's roughly where I started the stream. So I was doing fireworks stuff last time I was on. Said we'd go for 2 hours, but we have to be getting close to the end of this, right? I think we're gonna have to fight the blue beast. So apparently they don't want us to do this. They want everything to go back to the way it was in ancient times, it seems. No humans. Treasured flower. Yet to bloom.
That's everything.
Alright, Fujin.
On to the next.
Is that what it's called in your abode? Well, I suppose you can consider this place a herbalord I made. Alright, so this is where we got and met her the first time then. No good at small talk. Have anything you want to talk about? I am the butler of this place, and I'm responsible for the management of Master's Abode. Okay. These talking statues kind of freak me out just a teeny teensy bit. The branch she planted keeps growing and seems the water and soil in the cave are quite nutritious. Maybe in a few years, once it grows a little bigger, that medicine jar will be too small for this young tree. She connected the door opening mechanism with the jar the branch planted in, breathing life, giving adeptal energy into said mechanism. It seems that the jar containing the mechanism was damaged a long time ago. I wonder if the door could still open and close. Okay, so we gotta bring this guy all the way over here now. I've got it. I can talk about things with you. If you're going to enter Master's study, remember to touch the stone slate. It is something very important to master. Huh, drawings count? It's the giant snake and the carp. Oh god, it's this nonsense again. This nonsense that lags the shit out of my game. Things do well. There's a giant hole in this mural. We're here, Big Sis Fujin. Have you been waiting for us here all this time? No. After leaving Carp's Rest, I can only appear in places which my power remains, and only by the grace of your adeptal energy, Dan. Wait a minute, didn't the gap in the middle of the mural originally have something that went with the golden carp mural in it? I'm not sure. The truth is, my very first time seeing this mural as well. Huh? I'm sure you've heard of the battle that took place in the past. Conria, the Archon War? Yes, this cave was one of the shelters built for the inhabitants of Chenyu Vale. As such, the innocents caught here in the crossfire when the floods overturned the heavens and the earth split open could have a place of safety. I didn't expect that they'd draw a mural here, though. I believe the ones depicted in to be me, I mean the big slippery carp, the Mao mentioned, and a friend. If that's the case, why did the most important part get taken somewhere else? It's true, why is that? Perhaps dissatisfaction with the three of us here were once great friends, two of us becoming worshipped as adepti, and one of us was always the mountain's master. Later, Herb Lord and I defected together, and she most likely died too, or perhaps the one amongst us who fought to the last never submitted, and only heard news of us afterwards. Perhaps to her we were all traitors, with the depictions of myself and Herblord becoming an object for her to vent her fury against. Is that really the case? The painting outside looks like... Who knows? In any case, that's all just in the past. So please lend me your strength nursing Chenyu Vale back to health. I can feel that there is another golden carp lingering where I used to, near Mount Zhuanlian, I believe. Oh, so there's another? If we get that one, I should have enough strength to perform the ritual. Speaking of that, I must apologize for being unable to control the golden carp. Even with you nearby, I know they might have given you some trouble, swimming through the air like that. It was somewhat troublesome, yes. I think of them like Sealies. But really, where is the golden carp? That should be here. Well, inside the painting, just use your adeptal energy to awaken it. Oh god. According to what Fujin said, you should be able to use adeptal energy in the drawing. Alright. How do I go up there? Go to Mount Xuanlian. Glad I got a bunch of these teleport waypoints last time I was on stream. I didn't record that stream because it was mostly just me wandering around doing lantern right stuff for playing mini games. Like the firework minigame had me go to like 4 really, really weird, obscure locations in Chenyu Vale. But that did allow me to get a lot of these waypoints. That's Mount Qiaoying up ahead. I gotta go all the way up there? How the hell do I get up there?
Incoming.
There's gotta be some goldfish jumping around here, right? More treasure hoarders. Great.
Another test subject.
Not now. I gotta get to the top of this thingy up here. As for how I do that, oh, thank God. I think I see a bridge. Oh, almost didn't make it. Huh, there's a pavilion here on the mountain. It's rather Adepti style. Paimon wonders where we'll find that golden carp. This place is kind of huge. Maybe we can do what we did last time, you know? The bit where you used the adeptal energy on the mural and the carp turned out to be hiding inside? Look, there's 4 stone carp statues here. Do you think it might be 4 giant carps hiding inside? This makes sense. You're pretty smart, little Mal. Dan is an adeptal energy reacting anything? Not at all. Well, there goes that idea. There seems to be something missing inside. That might be where the critical clue lies. Looks like there are orbs inside some of the carp statues. Didn't we find some of the carps in Large Pearl on our way down the mountain? A real pearl of wisdom. Let's give it a go. Give Pearl. Let's go to this one first. Collect the spirit orbs. Having Amber in the team is very helpful for this, for all this extra gliding I gotta be doing. Jade Cascade, freely move the Jade Hairpin. Hairpin inserted in the right place. Cool.
Not bad, as far as treasure is concerned.
Okay.
Speed of light.
Spring forth!
Let the show begin.
Man, these big hilichurls are always so much health.
Incoming. Steady, go! Yeah. Nowhere to hide. Let it rain. Don't blink. Hit.
Alright, now we just put that on this platform over here. Alright. Orb get. Carp Spirit Orb.
You give, you receive.
This is a really well in-depthed world quest. They're really having us explore each and every one of the areas. Alright, but now how do I get this out? Floating stone platform. Alright, that makes sense. Oh, don't want to dive. Alright. That's two fish orbs.
Everything. On to the next.
Where's the third fish orb? Aha. That was interesting.
Not bad, as far as treasure is concerned.
I am smart. SMRT. Back to the top. Ah. My apologies for the poor hospitality. It has been a long time since I enjoyed tea with others. Hopefully my brewing skills have not deteriorated over much time. One day, I mean, I mean, I have some experience in appreciating tea. It was also thanks to this that I was able to tell that this year's tea offering smelled off. That was how I discovered the trouble with the soil and the water quality. I didn't think offering rice would be so useful. Looks like it wasn't some sort of meaningless tradition after all. I suppose I can tell those who fail to appreciate the value of tea about its value with confidence. Come now, have some tea. Is this your teapot, Fujin? Yeah, there was that time in Liyue Harbor where we fixed Madame Ping's teapot for her. If you think about it, we seem to have a connection with tea. Madame Ping? I think I know of whom you speak. We were acquainted back in the day along with her friends. Streetward Rambler, I believe is her title, as an adeptus. As Little Mouse said, I was once just a giant carp, unable to leave fresh water for too long, nor live in salty waters. As such, they sent me over one of these teapots. That was how my friends would have been able to take me inside of my teapot. Of course, to Guili Plains and Liyue Harbor to meet those lovely people they spoke of. Unfortunately, such a time never quite came. And Paimon, you've been to Liyue Harbor. Could you tell me more about the city? I'd like to hear about it too. I've never been. Well, Paimon would like to start from Wanmin Restaurant. How about I handle the explanations this time? Sure, but don't you dare skip over the eating bits. It's a port city nestled against the mountains, you begin, for Fujin to interrupt you. She notes that she'd like to hear your Liyue story. You understand and begin again. When I arrived in Liyue Harbor, Paimon, were just on time for the rite of dissension. The child and adeptus before you listen to your words, and Paimon's incessant interjections, leaning forward as you speak, exclaiming the shock and relaxing as the tension of the tale rises and falls. They also add their own commentary and questions about Liyue, such as the food and flavors available at restaurants, the toys the old lady sells, the gems and jewelry at the Feiyun slope, and such. As you watch, Fujin, Little Mao, and Paimon are so moved by the tale. Along this journey, we met many friends, and experienced so many things. It was all worth it. A sea monster. Amazing. Liyue Harbor is not what I imagined. Do you find it disappointing? Well, no, it's just different. Being different doesn't make it bad. I like the Liyue Harbor you described. It's good to hear that after all this time, my dear Herb Lord was able to find home there. I think that's simply wonderful. I think Shang Shang, the snake on Baiju's neck, is the Herb Lord they keep mentioning. Because the white snake and the golden carp. What about you, Little Mal? Could you tell me about you and your friend? I'm curious to know what she's like. Sure. I mean, Paimon and Dan have met her already, so it wouldn't be fair if I didn't tell you. This is how we met. At that time, I was still a little kid who didn't know anything about the mountains. It was nighttime and some wild beasts were following me through the forest. It was super scary. Finally, I was chased into a clearing surrounded by those beasties. For a moment, I was convinced I was going to get eaten, but suddenly they all backed off into the woods, and then they were gone. When I looked back, there she was, looking at me. She was like Jade, but there was a dignity to her. I knew it then, that she was the master of the mountain, and that my grandparents had told me about. I wasn't scared, I just told her. I finally found you. I've been looking for you for so long. I don't know why, but she lowered her head and thought before walking off. She made no noise as she did so. I listened as hard as I could, but there were no sounds or anything of stepping on branches or fallen leaves. After that, I would sometimes catch sight of her, moving between the trees in a flash. Sometimes the rising moonlight would go outline her shadow, and she stood atop the high mountain. At a time, I thought it was strange. Why hadn't I seen her before? She was always there, after all. I wanted to talk to her, but she'd always turn and leave. It was only later that she became willing to talk to me. Much later on, she would take me up very high mountains into the very deep forest. She asked me a lot of questions, and in exchange, she told me a lot of stories. In the beginning, Qiaoying village was nameless, barren mountain. The rivers had real tempers. Sometimes they'd flood, other times they would all but wither. And on that barren mountain she made 2 friends, a fish and a snake. But later the snake was cut into pieces and the fish sank into the sea. And then only Bluey was left. Thank you, little Mao. Also, don't tell anyone about my friend, alright? Of course we won't. You seem quite familiar with this friend of little Mao's, Fujin. Indeed, but that was all in my past life. Many, many years have passed since I could no longer move freely. I suspect that I might not recognize her any longer, though from little Mao's words she might not have changed too much. Past life? Perhaps that is not the most accurate way to phrase it. I did not utterly perish, but I did lose my original form, and my strength and wisdom dissipated along the spirit veins. This is also why I invited you to Carp's Rest. If we were not there, I would not even be able to form to show you a voice to speak with you. It's thanks to you that I've been able to slowly regain my previous strength. Coming here once more, seeing these scenes with my own eyes, meeting old friends from the past, and more importantly, making new friends. I'm very glad. How did you die? My memories of that have grown foggy. The Herb Lord and I were servants of another god, and it was I that organized the Rain Jade Rite, administering the rivers and mountains for our Lord. As for the other, she is a beast, wild and free. In those peaceful days, I also climbed waterfalls to Mount Outsong and Mount Hulao, and there I met with the Adepti whose powers and wisdom far eclipse mine. Of course, that was all before the war. Our Lord was not heinous by any means. Once upon a time she made many dreams come true. If there was any evil, it was the Archon War itself. What happened next needs no further explanation on my part, I'm sure. We talked about how you and the Herb Lord defected. That's right. That might have been the bravest thing we have ever done. This Archon War keeps getting fleshed out little by little. Our Lord had all but gone mad seeking the position of a god who may rule this world, or perhaps seeking survival. Either way, she lacked the power to overcome Morax. So in a final desperate gamble, she chased the Bishi River to caused the Bishi River to flood, hoping to destroy everything downstream. Of course, she knew that would mean Chenyu Valley and its people. Chenyu Vale and its people. Well, but Paimon thinks that's something you should never do, period. Perhaps that's just what it does to people. Either way, that was our final adventure as a trio of friends. Oh. Did the game freeze? Oh, there we go. Lingyuan attacked people with her familiars, herding them to the shelter we had prepared. Herb Lord fought against our mistress, while I climbed Mount Limang and hurled the votive Drain Jade into the rising waters. Of course, that wasn't proper Rain Jade Rite. It was simply the release of adeptal energy stored within the Jade Pendant to have the earth open its maw and swallow the rivers, and allow the Jade Mouth to grow and stabilize the flow. What happened next? Didn't little Mao tell you how it all ended? Yeah. That's right. Wait, really? When? It's alright. That's enough about the past. We should get back to performing the rite itself. True, but what about the golden carp? Isn't that what we're looking for? In truth, you've already found it. As with the previous one, it's not how I was able to appear before you. It's just that I missed the scenery here a bit too much, so I couldn't help but have a long chat with you all. After all, your sense of time and mine are not the same. You won't tarry long once your objective is complete, will you? As such, I apologize. Please forgive my capriciousness. Yes, we'll meet again shortly, everyone.
That's everything.
Oh, so you were in the
On to
teapot.
the next.
Yeah, that makes sense. Go back and look for Fujin. Okay, we have to be getting close to the end now, right? We've been doing this for 2 hours. Exploration and adventure. Oh, boy. This has been an enjoyable questline. It kind of reminds me of the Aranara questline and the Sarush questline, although it's definitely a lot shorter and more concise than those ones. I say, assuming that there isn't another fucking 5 hours after this. Please tell me there's not another 5 hours after this. Though my power is still a far cry from how I was in the past, thanks to your aid, I have regained much strength. Next, we need to perform the ceremony. What effects will it have? It's been thousands of years since it was last performed, and the mountains and rivers and spirit fanes have all changed a great deal. But if that goes well, the votive rain Jade will resolve the issue. Well then, let's begin. Okay, the weird statue thingies. It's ritual time. We're gonna have to fight that beast, aren't we? Okay. Is something gonna happen? Any minute now. Game's stuttering quite a bit, actually, on my end. I don't imagine it looks that much better for y'all. The mist is clearing. What happened? Well, we're in another loading screen. The fog's dissipating. Whoa. What is that? It's like in the mural. Do you remember Paimon? The one with the two golden people. Something in between them. Now, you're really impressive, little Mal. Paimon didn't remember that at all. Behold, the sacred mountain. In my era, to merely climb it was already to transgress. But the ancestral inhabitants of this place are all gone. And the communing path lies waste and broken. Who shall judge us now? That is where the spirit veins of Chenyu Vale converge, though it can't transmit my adeptal energy throughout the Vale, restoring its water and its soil. We are only one step off from achieving our goal. Are you prepared? Let's do this. Indeed. Great. Looks like there's still about an hour of quest left. Oh yeah, so this was that area that was not revealed on the map. Qiaoying Terrace. Alright. Just swim across the sky. Waypoint get. Company Fujin. Please come with me. You're the Golden Carp again. She remained determined to restore nature. How could she? Sorry, who now? Let's get rid of the miasma here and move on first. Alright, fine.
Speed of light.
Oop, there goes the sound.
Let's dance.
Scatter!
Incoming. Hey! With sword comes shadow. No escape. Come on, we can
miasma down. Oh, you gotta be shitting me.
Hey! No one escapes my sight. I'll protect us.
Propagate!
Don't blink.
Sir!
Cut to the chase.
Just gotta get through.
Not so hard. No escape. Speed of light. Huh? Yeah. Ha. Ha. Incoming. Hey! Hit, hit. Let it rain. Yeah. Speed of light with sword from shadow.
These things are so tough to kill.
Here!
Hey! No one escapes my sight. Let's dance. Huh. La, 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 la. Hi. Huh.
Propagate!
Let it rain.
Come on.
Get him.
Spring forth!
Ouchie. Don't blink. No escape. Cut to the chase.
Overheat.
Incoming.
Overheat, baby.
Here!
Yeah. Go. Let the show begin. Huh. Hi. Ready, steady, go.
Bubble claw. So annoying.
A reward on the road.
Please, no more miasma. This pathway looks really, really long. It's a long way to the top if you are a golden carp. Oh, here we go. Bluey's getting involved. Lingyuan, I perceived it would be you. And I do miss you so, but this really might be a bad time. And so Bluey's name is Lingyuan? Don't be like that. Speak with me. The opportunity to speak will come. But it is not now. You know this. I know this. But I cannot allow it. Wait just a while longer. It will end soon. I do not like things up here. But it does not matter. Just leave it to me, Fujin. Do not come up here. Yikes, where'd these guys come from?
Scatter!
Lulu and Kaming.
Let it rain. Don't blink. Ah! With sword comes shadow.
Here!
Incoming. Huh? Hip, hip.
Some!
I'll protect us. Huh?
All right.
Huh? Don't blink. Huh? Ah! Huh? Hip, huh? Nowhere to hide. No escape. Hi. Huh? 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 Hi. Huh?
All right. That was easy enough. I really wish they would voice a lot of these. Alright, there's another teleport waypoint. In case I want to come back here. That's quite the image. Quite sorry for not being completely frank with you earlier. Though I became aware of it during our travels, I did not wish to believe my old friend Lingyuan would be the source of the storm that buffets Chenyu Vale. I actually had an inkling already. And you did? When? How did you figure it out? First time we tried to do the right, they were growling. She, Herblord, and I once defended Chenyu Vale together. To think that she would do something so wicked. Her disruption of the spirit veins has caused the miasma to propagate. And the one who stopped me from performing the rite the first time was also her. But Big Sis Fujin, Lingyuan, isn't a bad person. I know, little Mao. She's your friend, but this time she is the greatest threat to Chenyu Vale. If she controls this sacred mountain, she will wield the power to completely alter the land of Chenyu Vale in the blink of an eye. I fear that Lingyuan has already entered Qiaoying Terrace before us. She means to rewrite the flow and path of the spirit veins. We have little time left. You have mastered the adeptal energy available here in Chenyu Vale. Lingyuan and her familiars will not be your match. Please accompany me for the final time and aid me. For the sake of the people of Chenyu Vale, I will perform the ritual and open a way to Qiaoying Terrace. Please stay by my side and protect me. Take care of the nearby miasma. Where's the miasma? Here.
Scatter!
Speed of light. Huh?
Off the cliff you go.
Incoming. Let the show begin. Huh? Hi. Huh? 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 Let it rain. Bet you can't keep up with me.
Where is the miasma? I don't see it.
Bet you can't keep up with me.
Okay, so we just gotta clear out all the enemies. Oh god, not these guys again.
I'll protect us.
Spring forth!
La, 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 la. Go, Barbara. Hi. Cut to the chase. No one escapes my sight. Speed of light. Hey!
Come on.
Incoming. Go, go, Baron Bunny. Let it rain. Nowhere to hide.
Got rid of you. Why won't you listen to me? Will you not wait? Your strength is feeble, you cannot match me. But do not worry, you will soon recover. Lingyuan, say no more. Dan and I will stop you. We will stop this. We plan to destroy... We will stop this plan to destroy Chenyu Vale. The ritual is complete. The gate to Qiaoying Terrace is now open. Alright. The world seems to spin for a moment. You open your eyes once more as you're already above the clouds. Oh boy. Here we go. This is going to be cinematic. Probably. Or just a big boss fight. I hope my team is up to snuff. I should probably divide this up into 2 videos. I'll separate all the lantern right out stuff, and that can be just a nice little short, little 50-minute video. Which will chop this one down to being about 2.5 hours. Although if it's going to take forever to load, I might as well drink some water now. My big old thing of vitamin water. Oh no, I spilled some on my shirt. This would be a really bad time for the game to crash. I'm gonna go out and get some milk after this so I can cook dinner. So much for my plans of streaming another game after this. We're going to probably have to throw that out the window. We'll do a stream on Thursday. Unless something comes up. Oh! Leyline disorder. When Lingyuan changes the direction of the spirit veins, miasmic simulacra will be continuously generated. These simulacra will deal continuous damage to nearby characters. When Lingyuan is gathering hydro or anemo, if there are any miasmic simulacra still present, Lingyuan will gather all that to power up the attack. Use adeptal energy to eliminate the simulacra. All miasmic simulacra are eliminated before Lingyuan gathers up the adeptal energy. Party member's attack is increased. Freeze Lingyuan. She's gathering hydro adeptal energy. Use shatter, melt, or other elemental reactions to break the ice.
I'm all for work-life balance, but don't blink. Incoming.
All right.
Don't blink. With sword comes shadow.
Propagate! Yeah.
Well, that's not good. Oh boy. It's a mermaid wolf thing.
Scatter!
Oh, God.
Hi.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that makes much more sense.
Don't blink. Speed of light. Nowhere to hide. Incoming. Hey!
Please. Can you die already?
Speed of light. One step back, two forward. Let's dance.
All right.
Oh, hi. Incoming. Cut to the chase.
Propagate!
Alright. Use adaptable energy, break miasma. Alright.
Let the show begin.
I think that the dialogue is repeating because of how long this has taken.
Speed of light. Incoming. No escape. Speed of light. With sword comes shadow.
Ow.
Incoming.
That's not
I'll
good.
protect us. Ready, steady, go! Oh no! Go, Barbara, go!
Scatter!
Don't blink.
Germinate!
Oh, hi.
There we go. We finally got there. That was so laggy, it was actually causing encoding problems in my OBS. Thing. Human, let me tell you what you shall do. Fire arrows at my heart. If you approach up close, strike me with your sword. I will fight you to the last. You're the only one here who can fight. When I have crushed your neck, I will triumph. I don't intend to kill you. Why? I do not understand. You've already lost and you're Fujin's friend. You may ask one question. You still really care about doing your things like that, even when you've lost? Then let us exchange questions. Little Mao, do you have any questions? Why did you have to fight? Can't we all be friends? You bunch of two-legged and you, Fujin, have not the strength to form two legs of your own. Yet you wish to walk in their form and speak to me. But how can humans and wild beasts ever be friends? That's not true, Bluey, you're lying. If that's the case, why didn't you just let those beasts eat me back then? If humans and beasts can't be friends, And you're a beast. You shouldn't have helped me. My actions are sometimes beyond my wildest understanding. You were merely fortunate. Well, why didn't you just eat Mountain as well? She almost bumped into you while lost in the fog. And at the foot of the mountain, I saw it. Oh yeah, what was her name again? Hot Montagna? You humans possess such wisdom that even nature submits to your will. In that case, you tell me, why didn't I eat her? What kind of question is that? Mount Laxin is dear to the Adeptus Fujin. Let us just assume you are correct. She has told me much about Rain Jade, right? Perhaps those memories affected my actions. You actually remembered everything I told you. Every year before the rite, you would tell me that White Snake how expectant you were, and how nervous, and after the rite, you would tell us how the festivities were so fun and lively, how you would always speak, and I could not help but listen. Only humans forget. I forget nothing. You have cleared this doubt of mine. Now you may ask a question. Adeptus Fujin, have you any questions? Thank you, Dan. Just a while back, Lingyuan, I was telling them stories of our past. Why do you wish to wreck Chenyu Vale, which we once fought so hard to protect? You planted tea trees promising to enjoy tea with us. This too I remember, but that sort of tea no longer exists. I want to change this land. I want to make it like it was all those millennia ago. You have walked with humans for too long. You have forgotten that you, I, and the snake all came from nature. I knew that you never truly perished, and that you did not depart this place like the snake. So I wish to change this place to the form it had when you were born. All these years I have been slowly adjusting the spirit veins. Oh, I get it. So that's what where the miasma came from. Correct. Side effects in the end. The process will change the soil, the waters, and the forest to what they should have been. The soil, the waters, and forest should have been? You truly have forgotten the past. The rivers rose and fell with the rains. The path was not fixed. The tea trees and flowers were not trimmed or cultivated, nor did they exist for humanity. In such an environment you would regain your old form, and frolic once more in the great rivers. You would regain your strength. Spiritual power blanketed the land in those days. The wild shrubs grew thick. Now the mountains and forests are silent. And the shimmering voice of spring waters, tinkling in the like jade, can be heard no longer. But you don't understand. You think that you must stop me. Lingyuan, I count myself more blessed than those who have lived a happy life. And in the end my soul returned to my home. You are the one who does not understand. Yes, and I have never understood. After you defeated me, you should have taken my territory. You planted tea on my mountain and gave the land to the humans. I do not understand why you did this. Chenyu Vale was once but a nameless land, and we were nameless insects, beasts, and fish. I was the master of the uncultivated mountain, and today that place belongs to neither of us. You took human form and walked among them. You instituted the Rain Jade rite, and helped them change the soil and water. I did not understand then, either, but I could see how happy you were. The snake changed into human form and used her knowledge to create medicines and save the sick. I could understand how the agile human fingers helped her do what she wished, but I did not know why it was done. What happened after caused me ill confusion. You fought alongside humans and their so-called gods, and you perished, humans fighting each other over territory and survival, now that I can understand. You both belong to a great river and the mountainous forests. You could have chosen to leave them and live on with me. Let that which human belong to them, and nature belong to nature. Even if our territory were to shrink, we could still live freely. But now you wish to stop me and defend this land subdued by humanity. Answer me. Why? Lingyuan, my friend, it is as you say. I do wish to protect them. Do not answer me with my own question. I was asking you why. This Lingyuan might be a beast, but she cares about the order of things, huh? I know, that's how I learned so much from her. So you guys were just discussing stuff in the mountains? Well, not totally. That said, after hearing everything Bluey said about Big Sis Fujin, I thought they'd be happy to meet each other. At first I was like you. I did not understand humanity. I did not enjoy their excessive demands or love of hoarding, or the eternal desire to have more than they need, while caring so little for the needy themselves. Trading, wealth. Like you, I did not understand these concepts, and did not understand why they influence human joy and sorrow. For across the long years I have seen many other things. The cries of children break my heart, and the sound of an old person's shattered memories saddens me, just as though it were a microcosm of the mountains and rivers. Have you noticed them since seen them? The children wash their little feet in the streams. Fishermen laugh beneath the light of the rainbow's arc. The moonlight trysts of lovebirds. The figures painted silver. Humans, too, are creatures of the land. Just how different is their innocence from ours? You mean to say that you have chosen to take their side due to these emotions, not through natural principles or logic, and not due to anyone's orders? I suspect that Herblord had much the same reasons as I. That said, I am sure she'd put it all very differently. I remain unsatisfied with your answer, Fujin. I do not understand. Do you not? I think you've understood for a long time. When our previous god, raised the waters, it was you who brought your familiars around to attack the people and drive them to the shelters we had created. I wish to help my friends to make their wishes reality. Even if doing so means going against nature and the principles you follow? Even if it meant going against nature and the principle as I follow, I would do so anyway. Well then, aren't we all that different now? We aren't all that different, you and I. Didn't you also choose your own position on account of your own feelings? I am satisfied with your answer, Fujin. Now may I ask a question? Very well, may I ask the next question, Dan and Paimon? Ask away. Paimon can't really think of any good questions at the moment. Since you've got one, go right ahead. You acknowledged my answer and acknowledged me, and acknowledged that you've made choices based on your own feelings. Now let me ask you. No, don't ask. You know what I'm going to ask, right? If I needed your help, would you still make the same choice? That's right, and what's your answer? Yes, I would. Even should another 1,000 years pass, and even if you had asked me 1,000 more times, my answer would be the same. In that case, thing on. I do in fact need your help. I truly wish to save the people of Chenyu Vale. So please, don't stop me from nursing the water and soil, alright? I promise you, Fujin. You have walked with humans for much time, and I have learned their cunning. While I am but a foolish beast, my claws and teeth are sharp, but I have no match for you. Thank you, Lingyuan. And thank you, Dan, Paimon, and Little Mao. You've accompanied me for so long, and you've helped me out a lot. I wouldn't have made it here if not without you. I'm happy to have helped you, Big Sis. I'm so happy that Bluey got to meet you all too. I was worried when you fought. You also have my thanks, Dan, Little Mao. It was you who brought Fujin to me, though the circumstances of the meeting were not what I had hoped for. And what about Paimon? Alright then, let's begin. We're just going to ignore that altogether. Alright. It's time to do this fancy schmancy nonsense. Let's fix the soil and water. I've been doing this for like 4 hours. Definitely gonna have to chop up this video, and I hope that that entire recording from the previous chunk doesn't get corrupted. That's a lot of lost footage, if so. And she's gone. Big sis Fujin. Big sis. Where did she go? To the heavens. Do you still not understand? She used all the energy she accumulated recently to nurse the land. If that's the case, does that mean? Yes, it is as you suspect. But she struggled so hard to. Though we have now finished nursing the soil and water, the miasma that remains will not disappear immediately. You have to be careful out there. Eh? Sorry for making you all see me like this. It's just as Lingyuan said. I've completely used up all the energy I accumulated recently, and can no longer maintain my favored form. Paimon thought that... What's wrong? Nothing. I thought that you died. I thought you sacrificed yourself. Paimon's glad you're still here, Adeptus Fujin. Seriously, Lingyuan. What about me? She wasn't entirely wrong, Paimon. As long as you're still here, Adeptus Fujin. Though my form is as it became, I am far more comfortable than I am before. At first I was trapped at Carp's Rest and could only reminisce about the outside world through the scent of tea offerings. If I had not met you and Paimon, people of such compatibility with the spirit veins, I would have none but my shadow to talk to, much less be able to leave Carp's Rest. Thank you for your concern. Please forgive me. I must depart now. I'll need a bit of rest. And another thing, Lingyuan. Speak, what would you have me do, or not do? Nothing. I just didn't get to say this in the due to circumstances that have prevailed before, but it's good to see you again. I know. Thank you all. Where did that come from? I should thank you for bringing her back, safe, smooth, and slippery. Even the way in which her fins move is the same as I remember. You sure do have a strange way of remembering people, or fish, whichever. I do not know how you did it, nor why you were able to obtain her adeptal energy. All these thousands of years and I never once heard her voice. It might be due to Dan's unique constitution. I see, however, I am but a foolish beast. Even if I wanted to see her again, I would not know a better way. I could only spend thousands of years clumsily imitating her methods, regulating the spirit veins in this land. I'm quite stupid. I only knew this method, and so I did it. It was akin to scooping out every droplet from a rushing river, or every grain of sand from the vast desert. I knew as well that she would not smile once did if these mountains returned to how they once were. She, I, and the snake once laughed and swam happily here. Those days will never come again. She loves humanity too much, even more than she loves herself. Had I succeeded, she would only hate me. But that would have not mattered to me, so long as she could regain her form and swim free once more. And Paimon thought you were more concerned about nature. Of course I care. A land untamed by humans, a land of wild beasts, but that's a different subject from the matter of Fujin. If she thinks that the land tamed by humans is better, then that strange tea leaves grown on such land taste superior, then I shall do what pleases her. So thank you. You're welcome. Speaking of that, Paimon's curious. What did the tea leaves taste like in the past? When the land changed before, the tea leaves' flavor was closer to what it was in the past, apart from some differences due to human influence. Wait, so you mean the weirdly flavored tea cakes we had were... In that case, I prefer the current flavor profile. Tea leaves cultivated by humanity will be more to their liking, of course. What I do not understand is Fujin's taste. If the snake was here, we could ask for her opinion, but perhaps her tastes have also become strange from spending too much time with humans. Before you go, Dan, I have one final question for you. Those that come from nature will for some reason go against nature, against the laws of nature originally followed. Will humans go against humanity? Against the principles initially followed for certain reasons? It depends on circumstances. You may as well have just said yes. Thank you. I am relieved at the answer I desired. Well then, little Mao, Dan, Paimon, we shall meet again. See you later, Mr. Bluey. Also remember to take care of Big Sis Fujin. She seems kind of weak right now, so she could use some extra care. I will. Farewell. Please wait, Lingyuan. I have a question for you as well. Ask then. I do owe you that. If human activities are part of the laws of nature, how would you view humanity? A strange question. In the distant past, they indeed were part of nature, but they are also no longer. That is because... No, I need to give this question more thought. Next time we meet, I will give you my answer. Escort little Mal back to the village. Yeah, we're kind of fucking up in the middle of fuck off nowhere. Let's take the kid home. Ooh, boy. This was a long one. Even longer when you realize that I technically started it a couple of streams ago during the Lantern Rite. So this one will have technically been chopped up into 2 videos, whether I chop it up into 2 videos or not. But I could at least separate this from the Lantern Rite stuff so that you have this entire package all in one video. It'll be basically a 3-hour video. You're back. We're just saying that good rainfall is bound to bring good tidings. And what do you know, dear guest? You've arrived right on time. How did it go? Well, I trust. Tell us all about it. It was thanks to Adeptus Fujin. We were able to clear the source of the anomalies. You met the legendary Carp Adeptus? Oh my, as one would expect of a young master of the Feiyun Commerce Guild, you really do have friends in high places. It was a piece of cake for me. Anyway, your soil and water problems should be solved now. Oh Lao, what did I say? I just told you it was a problem with the soil. You wouldn't listen. If it wasn't for their help, we would still be T-list next year's Lantern Rite. That's, regardless, thank you both for your help, honored guests. With your help and the protection of the Carp Adeptus, I'm sure our village will surely see a great harvest of tea leaves the coming year. Ah yes, please take these. That is as a token of our thanks. Alright, Paimon almost forgot. We came across a kid during our adventures. Is he from this village too? Hey, Uncle Luau, I'm back. Well, if it isn't little Mao, finally of mine to come back, huh? You don't seem worried at all. What is there to fret about? The kid runs around in the mountains all the time, and he always comes back safe after getting tired. If you ask me, there's been an Adeptus looking out after him in secret all along. You know, maybe that might even have been the Adeptus said Carp Adeptus. I've said it before, that wasn't an Adeptus, it was Bluey. Alright, little Mao. Don't argue with Luo here. He's just pretending to know what he's talking about. Come by my place later. I'll make you some egg custard. Woohoo! Egg custard. I love egg custard. Egg custard is great. And now you pretend to be a good person. Wait, what do you mean by pretending to know? In any case, I don't really know how to repay you, dear guests. If you should need any help in the future, Qiaoying Village will be more than willing to lend you a hand. Chenyu's blessings of Sunken Jade. Well, this was definitely a long and fruitful ordeal. But I need to take a break. I'm gonna go get some shopping done, maybe cook some dinner, and I'll see you all in the next stream. If you want to know when I'm gonna go live next, it'll probably be Thursday. And if you want to know when I'm going to go live that isn't next Thursday, you should join into the Discord. Lastly, for the month of February, if we do hit the stream goal, I will shave my beard live. Please don't make me shave my beard live. I really don't want to. I might trim it a little bit to make it more even, but I would like to keep it if I can. Until next time, bye-bye.